The first day that I met Willy was for Harper's Bazaar. I had heard of him from several friends before.
The first time that I met him, he invited me also at this fashion show in New York 1 year ago.
I was with my friend. He also models for Willy. His name is Noe Cepeda. He took me to his studio.
And it was like Fashion Week madness. And then my agent called me and was like, we've got this Willy job. It's in New York. You've got to go for like 48 hours.
I don't know, just kind of just like clicked.
My initial impression was just instant magic.
This is the second time that he asked me to go to America for work with him. So I said, no, I already fucked up with the first time. I need to go this time.
It was about like hardships and like being taken care of and feeling love, like someone just like being there for you.
Willy is creating a fashion film, and that's all I need to know. Anytime I see Paloma, I gag. I don't know why. I just have a soft spot for her.
A few years back, when I used to actually like go out, I had met Paloma, this like New York City club. At the time, I was just like, you know, I think she just found me as like a funny person. She was like, "Hey, Chachi, like, how you been?" I'm like, "Oh my god, like crazy! Like we're filming this thing. Like you know, after a long time of not seeing each other." I kind of went into that mindset. The scene of the hugging was kind of like the recovery of what we had just gone through. And I was supposed to just let go of everything I had been feeling.
I almost was so glad that I didn't have the idea of what I was going into in such a brief, specific way, because I think it allowed us all to really just like, you know, lean into one another and find the groove that worked for all of us.
There was a lot of trust between me and Kai. I really think she's such a talented artist. It allowed for something really beautiful and raw and organic to unfold.
There is a strong religious side, no, on what Willy creates. And I always had this like obsession for religious art, like cross.
To see at least one of the boys serve in heels, he kind of ate the boys in the gym scene, the girls working out.
In fact, I remember that during the shooting, he put like a lot of necklace to another guy, you know, that was like in underwear. And I was staring at this jewel for 10 minutes. The kissing part was like the easiest because I was worried about my face now when I need to do, you know, a serious expression at the window, no? Because thanks God, when I kissed the guy, half of my face was covered. So I said, it's just a kiss, no, it's easy to do. I always start talking with the guys during the set, and everybody was super chill, was super nice to me, and they put me like in a comfort zone, no, at first time.
I'm grabbing her shoulder and then I kissed her, and then we get a phone call. He answers it. That was definitely like the divine evil, like channeling the darkness, all the chaos.
That you never actually see the act of death. There's no moment that you go, okay, that's where they died, or that's how they died.
Hello? I just want to know there's someone there.
I already had a bit of a rough year. My older brother had like passed away, and I kind of went into that mindset of what had happened and used my emotions for that scene.
They had this, you know, polar but mirroring relationship to this one that me and Dilone had.
The scene when we were both looking at the camera was kind of like us looking at each other, except there was no scene of us looking at each other like crying, but that was what, in my mind, I thought it was like us looking at each other but crying, you know, about what we had just gone through.
As a Latin person, seeing one of the women cooking in the kitchen.
My mom, I see her every day. I just told her, just act like the novelas you watch every day. That was my last time I was gonna see her again. So I was like really sad, you know. That's my mom, she birthed me. And that was the last time like she was gonna be taking care of me. So I find this beautiful piece I have with her, you know, being in the same room, her doing the same work I do, her seeing what I'll be doing. It was really beautiful.
Walk in a corridor, going through the bathroom, and being really dramatic. No, that basically is easy for me to do this because in a lot of my music video, I always fell inside this drama mode, you know, because also the songs are sometimes more sad than happy.
You're the more masculine person, which was also really, really nice for me because I feel like often people like to push non-binary or gender fluid people into like the extreme that isn't necessarily the one that they live within.
The relationship between me and Leonardo is really dramatic in this movie, but really, really sad, no? But with the mixed with sadness, there is also a little bit of anger, no? That we try to put it out during the scene and where we are like fighting with the walls.
We were standing there and we were watching the boys do the same mirrored scene. I have a video of it on my phone and I often like watch it because it is so, there is not a single part of anyone that could have believed those two were not having that argument.
The room was divided. There was one room, I was in the blue room, she was in the orange room, and they were just right next to each other. We were yelling at each other through the walls, but also having these deep, intimate moments with ourselves, like just being frustrated as well.
This was their house. It was almost like this voyeuristic, like fly on the wall moment, putting our hands up on the wall and us knowing exactly where our hands, that was the first and only take. In Leo's position where this black queer man had this kind of very like bodily rage. And I think like for me, it was so beautiful to witness that.
There were like real tears flowing. There was a lot of heated passion that I think surged through every single scene.
You heard cut. Like the set was just silent. Willy was like full of tears. Everyone was teared up. Like it was just this kind of like silence of wow, we've all been in that dark space where ultimately you are left just shouting anything you have left into the void.
It's so hard to meet yourself. It's really hard to be like, oh shit, I'm the problem.
Willy's brand in general is very inclusive. It plays on a lot of different elements. I knew from the top of the day when I would be wearing underwear and a jacket, I really wanted to hone in the legs and just feel sexy and allow myself to not get too in my head. I feel like as trans people, especially working with Willy and his team and just all the other models as well, it was so easy to feel comfortable and to just bring a sense of sureness. You could even see that in the gym scene. It was like, okay, who's this girl chilling in the back with her heels kicked up? She doesn't care.
Yo, Willy. I don't know if you heard, but things are pretty bad right now.
That kiss was, almost this dreamlike memory. And then, me acknowledging, the camera acknowledging, almost as if somebody's given me this bad news, is like bringing you back to the present. You have the voice notes that are like over the top, the layered pause between like me and Dilone. He said, send like a couple. I was sending them and
just want to look at you.
I was getting into this character, and at one point it was like, start to cry. And as I kneel and my head goes back and you see that braided Willy logo, that is me in theory, co-signing everyone in that room's forgiveness.
Me and Keandra were the bearers of light, the candle bearers.
Marlon Wells. He was the director of movement.
It wasn't just about movement direction, it was about intimacy, coordination.
I kind of was like praying at the time because I already had so much thoughts, and to think back on what Marlon had told me, I was like almost kind of like I'm doing this for my brother, for Willy, my family, for the film.
Me and Leonardo come together and we're both supposed to be dead. He reaches out for my hand and I grab his hand and we make eye contact and he could see the tears in my eyes and I could just see in his reaction, oh fuck, we're really doing this. I had to get into my acting bag and just be like, I'm not gonna talk to anybody right now. I'm just gonna focus on what I'm supposed to feel in this moment. In a sense, accepting my apology. It was so emotional. It was so beautiful.
Incredible elements to this story are that you don't know who is grieving because ultimately everyone is grieving.
Then we break out into that dancing scene.
Good house music is the cure, okay?
After the hugging, more energy came in.
That scene was one of my favorite scenes because, you know, everyone was together. I like the part when we started dancing, all of us. I got to dance with my mom.
We knew that like we had this like last like party, celebration of life / runway like intersection.
It was a mix-up between both worlds because of the clothes we had on and the setting, and then the music, and then the dancing. It was like a mix of both worlds.
I already like foresaw like some really good track was gonna be playing. We're about to like be vibing.
Everyone was just so happy. I mean, we're all in these amazing looks, amazing designs, and the casting was so beautiful, so diverse. Everyone like just had the best spirits that day.
Just do a walk, but like vibing.
Jess, who works with Willy on the creative, was like, this walk like ended me.
Not anybody could be a Willy girl. It's family. Once you're a part of his brand, you're literally family.
Everything felt musical. Everything had this musicality to it. It was very like, you know, like everything was very serendipitous.
Not just a classic walk, just do your maybe dancing, walking, turning around.
So much of this film is about how as humans, allowing ourselves to love is also allowing ourselves to let go.
That convent, it really helped amplify the film's tone. It created this like aura of both foreboding and hope, and then underlying sense of resilience.
Thank you, Willy, for what you've done for us, for the Latin community, for the culture, and for fashion. You really push the boundaries, and you do it with so much love, so much commitment, so much rawness and authenticity.
Thank you for extending this table past just us who are here, casted or part of this project, to the entire community and communities that feel seen and understood and celebrated in this wonderful, stunning piece of work.
As a trans woman, oftentimes I find it so difficult to have healthy relationships with men and masculine folk. And Willy is a man in my life that truly shows up for me. I mean, on Valentine's Day, he was the first to text me because he knows I'm single, boo. But he was the first to text me.
Yeah, Willy is like my hero.
You are the realest motherfucker.
I think my most favorite part about you that I've been so lucky to experience is your genuine kindness and warmth. And I adore you. I'm a fan of yours for life.
I'm so grateful that at the time I had met you, you changed my life. The way that he's expressed all his words, like major inspiration, and it's like almost like an emotional question.
You really impacted and changed my life, like crazy, unmanageable sometimes. And you really gave me beautiful purpose in my life. So thank you for everything. I love you so much.
I love you so much.
I love you so fucking much, Willy Chavarria.
Something that is a rarity in this world. So we thank you.